Amazon employees at a New York City warehouse are demanding better pay and protection after several employees there tested positive for the coronavirus.
We do not believe unions are in the best interest of our customers, our shareholders, or most importantly, our associates.
Bezos has also come under scrutiny for paying very little to no taxes and pitting states in the US against each other to get huge subsidies to set up Amazon facilities.
Warehouse workers and delivery drivers at the Staten Island facility will walk off the job today. They say they won't go back to work until the building is cleaned and sanitized.
With no breaks, they're having to pee in water bottles.
Like they always say, rising tide lifts all boats.
It's Amazon and Walmart, and it's no accident, Stephanie, that today, those stocks hit an all-time high.
To all of our Amazon retail heroes on the floor, in the air, and behind the wheel, we want to thank you.
Amazon workers have been forced to work in 100-degree heat, with ambulances waiting outside taking away the ones that fell.
The Amazon Smile logo is a quick sketch of a circumcised dick,
which paid almost no taxes last year, is offering only unpaid time off for workers who are sick and just 2 weeks paid leave for workers who test positive for the virus. Meanwhile, it demands its employees put in mandatory overtime.
They've now made their sick leave policy more lenient for their heroes. That only came after they got a letter from 14 state attorneys general saying their initial policy was inadequate to protect the public health.
They don't provide us with masks. They say they do, they don't. We don't have the right type of gloves. We don't have latex gloves.
According to Amazon, he was let go for violating social distancing guidelines, but leaked notes from an internal meeting showed the company's leadership discussing plans to make Smalls the face of the entire union organising movement, since he is not smart or articulate, which, holy shit!
We're not essential. Our help is essential. And we're not healthy, and we're bringing the virus home to the community. What good are we doing?
Dildos are not essential items.
You will learn about the warning signs most commonly associated with early union organizing. The most obvious signs would include use of words associated with unions or union-led movements like living wage or steward.
Holy shit!
Since the pandemic began, Jeff Bezos, who was already the richest man in America, his fortune increased $24 billion.
There's over 5,000 employees that come in and out this building weekly.
Dildos?
Amazon has over 100 full-time lobbyists in D.C., not lobbying for higher minimum wage, but lobbying for absence from regulation.
They hiring every day, 40 people a day.
Dildos? No.
What they should have did was quarantine the building 2 weeks ago, and they didn't do it. So now we got 10 cases in the building.
A nonprofit organization working closely with Instacart employees says what's on the table
dildos
simply won't cut it. So this strike is very much still on.
Something you can do is don't cross that picket line, stand in solidarity with these workers.
Today, we watch in real time as capitalism crumbles,
shamelessly neglecting the needs of the people.
Those in power all across the world only pretend to care about our lives until they quit making money.
I think we all have to put this into perspective. While the loss of any human life is tragic, the coronavirus has had a much more serious impact on business activity than on human life thus far.
Right now, across all countries,
the people fight for their lives in the face of a pandemic being mishandled by our so-called leaders.
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
We cannot trust the capitalist system to hold lives over profit.
We cannot trust the world leaders to care about the 99%.
Over the 1% who line their pockets.
We cannot trust the billionaires and capitalists to trickle down anything more than what is needed to maintain the status quo.
We can trust each other.
We can trust each other.
We can trust each other.
We can trust the shared perspectives of our neighbors.
We can trust in the collective voices of the people to bring about change.
But
don't act alone.
Do not act alone.
Workers are banding together in all industries.
From all demographics.
Saying enough is enough.
Enough is enough. We start this movement now by shouting. You will hear our voices.
You will hear our voices and meet our demands because it is our labor.
It is our labor that truly commands the integrity of human society.
Emotions were high as dozens of sanitation workers for the city of Pittsburgh refused to go to work on Wednesday.
We want better equipment, protective gear. We have no masks. We want hazard pay.
You will finally see and acknowledge those who have suffered the most are given the least.
We join in this movement together during a time when we are forced to stay physically apart. To breathe life back into the faith of society and trust in each other.
Trust in each other.
When we all finally wake up to this truth,
we will smash the foundations that hold the oligarchy in power.
Which is why our call to action is allowed.
Don't act alone.
Do not act alone.
Don't act alone.